Modern AI models can parse complex legal doctrines, write functional code, and generate novel hypotheses in seconds. Yet, if one of these models needs a 3-cent piece of proprietary data to complete its task, it hits a wall. It cannot buy it. To function as true agents, solving complex, multi-step problems, these models must continuously procure external resources. They need real-time context, live API feeds, and distributed compute cycles. The roadblock is the Internet's financial infrastructure. Our current payment rails were engineered exclusively for human-in-the-loop interactions. Legacy systems demand manual credit card entry, multi-day ACH settlement delays, and identity verification. They require a user interface and a person to click Approve. An autonomous script cannot navigate a web portal to type in a 16-digit card number. It cannot wait 3 days for a bank transfer to clear, just to subscribe to an API it needs for a single millisecond. Pacing slows slightly. Until AI agents possess their own native financial rails, they remain isolated intelligence engines, stripped of true operational agency. The solution is to bypass traditional fintech entirely by embedding commerce directly into the base layer of the Internet. Decades ago, the architects of the web reserved a specific status code for digital commerce. It has sat mostly dormant until now. HTTP 402, payment required. Utilizing this native code creates an automated negotiation layer directly inside a standard server request and response cycle. The server tells the machine exactly what a resource costs in real time. To execute these transactions, we use the X402 protocol. This provides the standardized execution engine for how machines read and handle that 402 response. The X402 protocol settles these transactions across Layer 2 blockchain networks using stablecoins like USDC. This allows the agent to remit payment directly to the server as part of the network request itself. This shifts the interaction from an account-based subscription model to a pay-per-use architecture, where the financial transaction is scoped to the individual request. By pairing stablecoins with this protocol, developers can treat HTTP 402 as a programmable, machine-readable invoice for the agentic web. You might ask why engineers don't simply hook up existing payment processors to handle these automated requests. The micropayment floor is a structural barrier. Legacy networks charge a 30-cent fee, swallowing the half-cent value of an API request. This guarantees a negative margin, forcing APIs to gate access behind expensive monthly subscriptions just to justify the processing fee. The X402 protocol sidesteps this floor entirely by utilizing cryptographic settlement on Layer 2 networks, dropping the transaction cost to fractions of a cent. This timeline diagram contrasts the settlement speeds of these two systems. Legacy systems require days to fully clear funds, whereas the X402 settlement layer achieves transaction finality in roughly 200 milliseconds. Because the transaction settles instantly on-chain, the API provider faces zero chargeback risk and avoids the compliance overhead of holding user financial data. Instant sub-cent settlement provides the structural foundation required for autonomous economic interactions to function at scale. Let's examine the exact packet-level handshake that occurs when a machine attempts to purchase data. An autonomous agent initiates the sequence by attempting to pull data using a standard API GET request. Because no payment is attached, the server immediately rejects the unauthenticated request and returns the HTTP 402 status. That response contains a structured JSON payload. It tells the agent the max amount required, the specific asset address for the payment token, and the required blockchain network. The agent dynamically parses this payload. It reads the exact cost, verifies the required stablecoin contract, and evaluates whether the data is worth the price based on its current logic. This handshake successfully eliminates the need to provision upfront API keys. It moves the authorization process to the exact moment of the transaction. Once the agent accepts the price, it responds by generating a cryptographically signed payment payload. Using its wallet, the agent signs the authorization, retrying the initial request with the base 64 encoded payment payload in the header. The server receives the retry, verifies the signature, broadcasts the transaction to the blockchain, and completes the work. From the machine's perspective, this happens in milliseconds. But how difficult is this payment gate for a developer to set up? This code shows the minimal back-end implementation required to monetize an API endpoint. A single line of middleware, X402 payment required automatically manages the pricing logic, verifies the stablecoin assets, and handles the correct network routing without further developer intervention. Compare this code-native integration with traditional API onboarding. There are no accounts to create, no credit cards to process, and no manual approvals to hold up the system. This architecture replaces human identity verification with provable programmatic value exchange. This technical protocol forms the foundation for a broader economic structure known as capability-priced micromarkets. These micromarkets allow disparate, decentralized AI agents to coordinate, negotiate, and trade resources fluidly, entirely without centralized clearinghouses. An autonomous trading model can purchase real-time stock ticks individually for fractions of a cent, pinging the server only when the market shifts. A reasoning agent operating on a lightweight local machine can purchase external GPU compute cycles, paying strictly per second when it faces a heavy workload. A legal research agent can pay 10 cents for access to a single, highly specific court ruling without purchasing a $1,000 enterprise database subscription. All of these interactions occur instantly, concurrently across thousands of nodes, and with zero manual human oversight. This protocol replaces rigid SAS subscriptions with a system of fluid, on-demand resource procurement for machine intelligence. The internet is shifting from a web of static, human-readable pages into an active network of autonomous economic actors. Standardizing machine-to-machine payments at the HTTP layer removes the bottleneck currently holding back AI autonomy. It also creates a direct incentive structure for developers who can now instantly monetize any API request, data query, or inference model they build with a single line of code. HTTP 402 and the X402 protocol provide the explicit financial rails for the next generation of digital commerce.